Lava, Pulovinaka, and Malo Lele. Welcome to a new segment for Sports Talanoa. It's called Quick Updates for Super Rugby Pacific 2025. We're here with Leopepe Tala Junior Lene, the Managing Director for Digicel Pacific here in New Zealand. Malo Shefo Langumara, Leopepe.
Yeah, whātano whāturo whioa for Moana. Pacific greetings to our viewers, and very exciting to be doing this new segment, considering the big game that we're gearing up in Auckland. So everyone who lives in Auckland, you're lucky to be in this city because you're going to watch one of the most exciting game coming up this weekend.
Before we go into the games, just want to ask what's new with Digicel?
Oh, look, we got Easter coming up, and we're always giving back to our customers. So if you check us online on Facebook, if you're going to send some top-up to your loved ones in Samoa, Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, Nauru, make sure it's a 20 New Zealand top-up or a 20 Australian top-up or more, because if you do that, you go in the draw to win the latest Samsung. I think it's S25 now or S26? Yeah, one of those. But it's going to be the latest one. So I think they're going at about 2,000, close to 3,000 New Zealand dollars a handset. So it's an opportunity for you to grab a new phone, but all you need to do is send some love to the Pacific in the form of a Digicel top-up. You can buy it from the stores in New Zealand and Australia through supermarkets, dairies, news agencies, petrol stations, or you can go online to digicelpacific.com. You can send top-up and just use your Visa or your MasterCard to pay for it. One of the other ways is our good friends at ClickX. You can send money from their website, clickxpacific.com, to a Digicel mobile handset in the Pacific, and you have a chance to also go in the draw to win the latest Samsung gadget, handset, latest phone.
Let's start with our questions. So, before Moana Pacifica started winning, there was talk about Ardie Savea joining Moana from former great All Blacks and also well-known podcasters and broadcasters saying that was a bad move for him, that it might hinder his future selections for the All Blacks. Fast forward to today, do you think that same mindset?
It has changed. And the same people who were doubting the move, it wasn't anything bad. It's just they see that Savea going to a team that is not performing well might hinder his chances of making the All Blacks. But now the same people are now looking at what Tana Umanga and Moana Pacific board saw and the decision they made to move Savea. Is now, I think it has changed their perception. Savea has managed to lift the team to where it is, win games, and never seen it. We've seen game organization where you only just take one person to lift everybody, and I think this is a classic example. So I'm glad that the Moana board and also the coach Whanongo made the move, and it's now paying the return. They're getting a return on Savea.
I remember there was a sports podcast that I was watching in 2023. He said that Moana wasn't going to be successful because they don't have an identity yet. And I felt like, with Ardie joining, the influence of this man, like he's a true X factor that's allowed the boys to find their identity and also help bring the best out of them. Like, what are your thoughts on the culture in Moana?
Oh, look, I think bringing Savea in, who's a person who's he's religious, which is very important to our Pacific community, Pacific people, and also the players. He embraces his culture, and that has basically allowed all the players as well to culture is very important. And he's a competitor, and so he loves winning, and he put it all out there. He's one of those people. 100% is not enough. I think he goes beyond, and it's that mindset that is now sort of rubbing off on a lot of the players. What we're saying is just a bit, but at the same time, it's a dynamics as well. Every player is buying into it. every player is giving more than 100%, and that's where the change and the shift is coming from, and that's the culture. They now have a culture that, they give it their all, they play for each other, and they now have the self-belief that they can actually beat any team and go on to win this competition. So I don't know what was the plan in the beginning of this year, if it's just to win more games than they did last year, but they definitely overachieved already.
The team has totally lifted their game with every match. One of my favorite players, William Habibi, I feel like he's found his 10. Like him and Pellegrini, they work so well off each other, even during set plays and some of the finishes. Like, it's really good to see where Moana is today. And also in saying that, with Moana Pacific's impact on our Pacific talents is massive. Like, probably the best development pathway for Samoans, Tongans, and Fijian players to stay competitive on the world stage. What's your take on that?
I think World Rugby should really look at Moana Pacifica and evaluate and say, hey, this pathway and development is going to give more for Samoa Rugby, for Tonga Rugby now than probably any other plan that they have in place that is actually development that's happening in the islands. And the good thing is that the Moana concept is now working, and it can only grow. It means it's now players. You mentioned some time ago there was an under-20 tournament where Fiji players, Samoan players, and Tongan players were involved. And from that tournament, Moana Pacifica took in a few players to kind of familiarize with the setup that they have. And hopefully they can say, okay, these are the players that we want to put into our system, develop them, that they can be the next miracle. They can be the next Matavao, and because it's definitely a pathway now. A lot of, if they pick a Manu Samoa for that game against Scotland in July, they can easily get more than 10 players from the Moana setup, which before Manu Samoa would have to look to Japan, to Europe, who's playing out there. Hardly you would be able to pick anyone from the islands, but I feel like this is the next best thing, and it's working really well.
Okay, let's shift our focus to this weekend's game. Moana Pacifica has just had 2 big wins, including their first ever win against the Crusaders. The Blues are one of the top teams and want to stay at the top of the ladder. So what do you think? Can Moana keep the momentum and beat the Blues at Eden Park this coming Saturday?
Look, man, I'm in crossroads here. I'm a hardcore Blues supporter. I've just embraced Moana. I feel like they're in Auckland. They play in Auckland, and they're my second team. And now everybody, I think Moana now has a lot of fans, not only just in Auckland, but everywhere in New Zealand, and especially the North Shore. I think sooner or later, North Shore are going to say, hey, when you cross the bridge, this is our home. This is the Moana home. When you go on the other side, go to Eden Park and support the Blues. So coming back to the game, I wasn't sure who was going to win until the team lists were released. And then I just look at it and I thought, okay, that the two coaches are really looking at what's best for both teams with the players that they have. The big one for me was Pellegrini being on the bench for Moana, and that was a big call. But to me, we watched the Moana game against Waratah. After that, we went and watched the Blues game against the Hurricanes at Eden Park, and I feel like the Blues forwards are slowly coming back to what they did last year, which was basically wearing the other team down, and also some of the backs injecting until they're closer to the line and then score points. So this Saturday, whoever's going to win the forward battle, which will allow the backs to do what they need to do. The Blues got a lethal back line. They haven't really do what they needed to do to score a lot of points, but Barrett is there. AJ Lamb, his 50th game is going to be huge. Rico Iane is still trying to get back to the old Rico Iane who scored a lot of tries, but I feel like he's there. He's doing what needs to be done in his defense to try to do as much in attack. They got the 2 All Blacks wingers. So Bishop starting probably is a different tactic that the Moana are trying to do. Maybe just trying to do a lot of the passing game control. Bishop has a lot of Super Rugby experience. But I think for this one, and hey, don't take this for anything else. I'm just looking at the team list, looking at the players and how they play. I feel like the Blues might just win this battle this Saturday. But yeah, it's a tough one for me.
We got Meilani Matalau and Jackson Bishop. What are your thoughts on that combination?
It's a new one. Because we haven't seen them play a lot of games together this season, so it is a big call for Moana to start them. Matavau's got a lot of speed, and like if they lose, like if they don't look out for him, he's just going to use his speed to duck out the other way and get a lot of meters for Moana. Bishop, very experienced, number 10, so he's going against the All Blacks, number 10.
Yes.
So I just don't. I just feel like Barrett will be doing a lot of those short kicks and chase because he's got the speed. But then we've got Ardie at the back who's been consistently catching the ball on the full. He doesn't let a lot of ball bounce. His kicking game has got a big boot on him. So I feel like the forward backs, the forward battle, and the territory, whoever wins and get a lot of the territory will win, which I feel that the Blues might be able to do. But yeah, that combination to pick that combination to play against the Blues is a big one, considering that the Blues are hungry to win the next game. Moana needs to beat them for the first time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you feel?
I'm gonna go for Moana. Like the reason being, like I'm a Blues fan as well, but like I really want Moana to win this season. My next question is the battle of the forwards. I mean the loose forwards. You got Miracle, Ardie, and Semisi for Moana, and then you got Dalton, Hoskins, and the number 6, the German guy. What's his name again?
Look, I just we'll find out his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
So. You got 2 guys who played for the All Blacks, and then you got Moana, Ardie, and then obviously Miracle, who's a Manu Samoa, also got experience, but the Blues will definitely have
Anton the Segner,
more international experience apart from Anton.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ardie's gonna be working really, really hard, like he's done all games, to try. And carry and lead the forwards. We've sent to Brotu from the front, so Tutu likes to play out wide a lot of the time, and then obviously the other flankers. So it's going to be a really exciting battle at the front. The scrum is going to be key as well. I feel like the Blues scrum was really good against some of the really heavy, really fit, really good props from the Hurricanes. So the set pieces is probably another key area. But you saw how a lot of the running game of the Blues halfback, it was passing to Brotu was going through, passing Hoskin. They just love hitting those ball at base. And they did a lot of that in the Hurricanes, and I feel like they'll probably do the same for this one.
Outside backs. We got Clark, Lamb, Ioane, Savea, and Evans for the Blues versus who we got on Moana versus Danny, Lalomilo, and Karen, and William Harvey.
Who should you have on the other wing?
The other wing of Pepesana.
Okay, so he's a centre, that guy. So it's
Yeah, full wing.
Yeah. He's a good defending. He's a good defender. So unless injuries has forced him to put him on the wing, but you've got players in the Blues who played for the All Blacks, which doesn't count when it comes to Super Rugby. And you've got the Moana guys who have been scoring tries and I feel like they love running the ball now. So the Blues need to up their defense in order to kind of contain the danger that the Moana backline are bringing in. You got Milo and Danny, and they love running straight, and most of the time they get through and offload. So I don't think they're going to do anything different. They'll be bashing their way through the Blues and hopefully get opportunities to score points.
Final question, and I think it's a question that everyone wants to know. Where is Bowden Barrett's village in Samoa?
I believe that village next to Whanasi. Yeah, that would. First I saw the list, and then I saw the flag, and I said, whoever's doing the graphics for these guys definitely Samoans.
Sure. That's it for us today. Join us this Saturday at the Moana Pacific versus Blues game at Eden Park. Leo Pepe and I will be also giving updates before and after the game. Let's start.